Good morning. Okay, so the people of the stories decided that we should do our pineapple first. So we are going to do our pineapple first. Good morning, Kate. Hello, hello. I've had a sore throat for a few days, so I'm hoping I can make it through this. I have my water. We should be good. Good afternoon. Where are you? It's still morning here. Okay. I don't think I have a needle over here. Hold on. Let me get a needle off my desk. Just 1 second. In the UK. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That'll make a difference, won't it? Okay. Alrighty, let's get started. So today we're going to use 3862 and 704 and 895. Is this light too bright? That might be a little bit better. Okay. So we're going to mix some colors for the pineapple. We're going to start with the pineapple and then we'll do some of the leaves. So I don't use bobbins, so I just keep mine on the skein. So first tip for anybody that is brand new to stitching. One thing is when you're pulling your thread, if you're not putting it on bobbins, make sure you're pulling from the end that has the number so you don't get any knots in your thread. If you pull it from the other end, you're more likely to get knots when you're pulling that out. I like to use a piece of thread. I put my arm out to the side and I measure from my fingertips to the middle of my chest. So my thread is about this long. But if you're concerned, you could measure just the length of your arm. I like to go a little longer because I know I'm fine working with it a little bit longer. But if you are worried about it, just measure the length of your arm and that's plenty. Okay, so we're going to use multiple colors in our needle at the same time. Let me see if this is the right length. Hold on 1 second. And I'll show you how to thread a needle. Okay, that's not quite long enough. Hold on. I'm using up scrap pieces. So I've just got whatever's left over. Okay, so make sure you cut your threads so that they're the same length, the green and the brown. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate our threads so that we can just use some of this. So embroidery threads come with, they are 6-stranded. So if you pull them apart a little bit, you can see there's 6 strands in here and then they're like twisted together. Okay, so we're gonna use 4 of the brown. So what we're gonna do is just take 2, and if you just slowly pull them apart, they'll untwist. If you do it too fast, you'll get a knot. So I usually hold it this way and then run my finger down it. And then once it gets too twisted, I'll stop and just start over again. Straighten that out. till we get to the end. So put your 2 aside, don't like throw them away or anything, we'll use them later. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same with the green, but we're just gonna take 2 of the green to use. So, got my 2 and my 4, and I'm just gonna separate those. So we're gonna have 6 total in our needle. 4 of the brown and 2 of the green. Okay. So I usually wet my thread with my tongue and then I flatten it between 2 fingers and then I can get it to slide into my needle fairly easily. This might be a smaller needle. There we go. Some people have fancy ways of knotting their thread at the end, but I don't. So I just take this, wrap it around my finger, and tie a little knot. Okay, so then so it doesn't come out while we're stitching. Okay, let me actually, hold on. There, that's better. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with our pineapple. We are going to do a race stitch. So we're gonna start at one central location and all the strands are gonna come out from there. So I'm gonna start with one down here. So we're gonna come up from the back. We've got our knot in there, so it should stay back there. Always start from the back. And we're gonna make one straight stitch down the center. And then we're going to come back up. Now, when we're coming back up in this same hole, remember that you have a knot right there. So kind of use your finger to like move it out of the way. Because if you grab that, it's going to be hard to come up through that hole. Okay, and then we're going to come to the edge over here. And we're going to do the same thing up from that same hole. And then out to the edge. And we totally could have used less strands, but that's okay. All right, so now that we have our edges done, we're gonna come over to here. I like to come up from the bottom so then I can like slide my needle. I don't wanna go into that same hole because that will just make things a little bit messy. So I'm gonna come slide my needle up so it's up next to it, but not in the same hole, and go down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing down here. I'm gonna come from the middle, slide my needle between those 2 pieces, and then down. And then we can fill in these gaps. So one more thread will go between each of those. So if you're wanting less green or no green, you could just do 1 strand of green, or you could do no green. You could just do this all brown. One more for that little spot. Okay, so now we're going to move to another spot. So I just want to show you at the top, they won't all go into the same hole because we're not at a point. So I'm just going to come in the middle and go down to the bottom. I would work your way from the top to the bottom. So then these will lay a little bit more nicely because I'm going to have to push my needle, like push these threads out of the way to get under them. But so I'm gonna go right next to this. I'm not gonna go in the same hole. I'm just gonna go over a little bit, over to this corner, and the same thing. I'm gonna go over a little and down in this. Now this is where our hole or our knot is. So I'm just gonna go up a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna do what I was doing before. I'm gonna come from the bottom up. But because I want to be able to put my thread kind of under this, so I'm gonna come. Okay, get some water. So I'm gonna kind of slide these out of the way and then put this down. Gemma, get your water and go back outside, please. Kids home in the summer make it harder to do stitch alongs. Okay. Gemma. Okay, and then we'll just work our way down to the bottom. So I think I'll probably just do a couple more of these, and then we'll do the leaves on top. So if you have any questions while I'm working, feel free to ask. So you kind of just have to pay attention to the different shapes, like if they're on the edges. So like this one, sorry, the cats have a toy. They're gonna be loud. Like this one doesn't have all the way out to the edge. Like it's so small. I think we'll just do like 3 stitches on each side. Or I guess 2, and then the center. One more. Oh, Leo, come here. And take away that fun toy. Oh, now we're gonna play with my cord. Come here. Kittens are fun, but they're kind of little maniacs. See, this is why you should start with the top, because now I'm like sliding my needle around all over under stitches and stuff, which is fine. It's totally doable, but we used this stitch in the last stitch along, and I just thought it was so fun, and I didn't feel like we got to use it enough because the space was so small. So with the pineapple on here, I was like, yep, we're gonna do that again. Okay, I think I'm just gonna finish this one and then the one next to it, and then I'm gonna move on to the leaves. So let's see. This side doesn't have enough stitches. I'm gonna do one more. I didn't like that gap. And I don't like this needle. I have to find me a new needle. This is definitely not a size 5 needle. It's a little bit smaller, and I don't like it. Okay. There we go. Cute little pineapple. Okay. Let me flip this over real quick. So when I tie off, I usually just grab a thread next to it and then make a little knot and just pull it snug. Okay, so let's get out our dark green. It's $8.95. Okay, so to keep the consistency with the thread count, because this has 6 threads, so it's pretty puffy. So I don't want to use less up here because I want them to be cohesive. So I'm going to stick with 6 threads to do the leaves. Let me just get this threaded. So I've got it wet with my tongue, flattening it between my fingers. Tie a little knot. Okay. Now let me find my pen. So with these leaves, I'm gonna kind of draw these a little bit more. Whoops, that was not straight, was it? So we're kind of doing that sort of a shape. So we're gonna do kind of almost a fishbone, but not quite. I think it's called a leaf stitch. Then we can kind of make these leaves curve a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the edge of one of our, let's start at the top. Okay, so we're gonna come up to our top. Oh, I do not like this needle. Okay, so we're gonna go about halfway down. And then we're gonna come back up next to, so our top is here, we're gonna go over and down just a little bit. So we're still like right next to it. We wanna keep that like really close. Okay, like do you see how close those are? I actually probably could have gotten a little bit closer. So when we go down, we're gonna go down, not in this same hole, we're gonna come down a little bit, but in a straight line. So if it would be easier for you to have a straight line to work on, you could draw a straight line, because we're gonna keep doing the same thing. We're gonna go back and forth on our sides. So now I'm gonna come over here on this side, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna stay on that line down the center and just go down a little bit. Okay, and then we're just gonna go back and forth on our sides. So left side, right side, right side, or right, left. Doesn't matter what side you start on. My kids are outside screaming. Hopefully it's happy screaming, I can't tell. so I'm gonna do that one as my last one on that side. And this one will be my last one on this side. And then we'll work on the other ones. Oh, and usually when I end it, I'll end it in the same hole. So you don't want to go down a little bit, just go in that same one so it like creates that nice point at the end. Okay, so since these ones curve, I'm going to draw a line down the center because we're going to stay on this center line so that we can keep that like pattern going. So I'm going to come back up at the top. Hold on, I need a drink. I don't know what this summer sickness is, but it is not good. Okay. I always start on the left first. I'm not sure why, but I do. So left side, right side. And just down a little in that center. Oops, I got off the center line. I don't want to do that. You see how if we keep that on that center line, it'll like naturally curve that leaf. So our stitches on the right are a little bit longer. You see how these ones, like I'm already down here with my stitches on the sides, but over here I'm still near the top. That is okay. These ones are just going to be a little bit shorter on the left side. We want to make sure that this leaf will cover like this gap right here with this leaf next to it. So I think I might just do one more on each side. And then I think it'll be fine to have that other leaf cover the other bit. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. Oh my gosh, that is such a cute leaf. This light is not great. I feel like it's shadowy. I got a new lamp. And I'm not sure which setting I like best yet. Okay. Make that just a little fatter over there. I'm always drawing on my pattern after I trace, so that's why I just do like the bare minimum when I'm tracing, because I just trace as I go, trace little things that I want. So I always have my pen handy. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna come, I think I'm just gonna finish this leaf and then I'm gonna let you go and work on the rest on your own. Okay, so now we're gonna have the same situation where, except opposite. So like these ones are gonna be the same as these ones. So these ones will be a little bit further apart, or they'll be a little bit shorter, where the ones on the left will be a little bit longer. Just to keep that curve that we have drawn. Ouch. I poked my finger. Oh yeah, that one will cover perfectly. Let's see. Okay, now with this, for this to keep curving, you're gonna have to come up like where you've already stitched and kind of layer over the top of it, which is gonna be fine. I'm gonna end this because I'm out of thread. Kind of hold that so it'll curve like I want it to. Look how cute! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so when my thread is short like this, I mean, I probably could have wrapped it around something next to it, but another way, let me just zoom out a tiny bit, is I will just pull like half of the threads and just tie these in a knot. I like to double knot it and then trim this so that it doesn't get in my way. You can throw away pieces like this, or we won't reuse that. But like this piece from the pineapple, like I will reuse this. I mean, I have more pineapple to do. So if it's long enough to be used, keep it. If it's not, just you can toss it. So, all right, what do we think? Yes, can we do the rest on our own? I try to be really active on Instagram for the 2 weeks that we're doing our stitch along. So if you have questions, I have my notifications turned on for this account, so I should get them right away. If you have questions or problems, let me know. And yeah, good luck with this. Tomorrow we will do our watermelon. So anyways, thanks for coming, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.